Hey guys, just wanted to talk you through the prayer services for this season coming up and how we're going to run them. So thought it'd be best if I just make a video on how to make it happen. So currently I have Highlands flow pulled up. So you will be using the weekend flow, and we're actually going to be using these songs right here. So what we really never use on the weekends, we're going to use these for prayer services and any other kind of service that is more of a special kind of service, you know. So first, let me get to kind of the pre-service here, and we'll go through it. So if you're in pre-service, you'll just have it on this look for the beginning of service, and then usually the clock for a prayer service is like a silent countdown, so you'll still go to clock, like with 20 seconds left. You'll be able to see it, or someone can cue you when there's 20 seconds left on the countdown. And make sure your loop is set to 103 so it can skip over song sequences. And then what will happen is when you go to 103, I'm going to pull up this command right here. So you have your special masters in here as well. So you can change the tempo, and when it switches pages, you'll see the effects and everything that you can use, which I would say just, you know, make it minimal when it comes to using effects for prayer. We don't really want a ton of effects. Like, we just kind of want it like some static looks, maybe some changes here and there, but nothing too crazy. After this right here, you see it says fader page 2. So it's going to switch over to the manual page for you, kind of like it does in post message worship down here. So that way you don't have to worry about hitting any buttons. So when I hit go, I'm going to bring in another view so you can kind of see what it's going to look like. So this is what you'll see. And for Awesome P and Germantown Parkway, it'll look just like this. So you'll bring up your executor page, and you'll see kind of like these group masters set up. So you just have the ability now to go in and bring up whatever lights you want to bring up. So your top 330s, again, this is Highland, so every campus is a little different. Your XP300s and so on. So here's all your floor lights, and then your sides over here. So down here, these are your effects. So when I put LED in front of these, LED means like your ELF bars and your slim bars, and then also, let me take this out and let me bring in this view. So at least at Highland, this is going to be the view that you see, you know, right in front of you on the screen. So you'll have your mover, sine waves, ramp, and then also PMW or PWM, and then your field chase right here. So those are just for the movers. And then let me back out of that and go back to here. And then LED, again, that's anything like your ELF bars and slim bars. And I would probably stay away from using movement effects like circle, pan, and tilt. If you find a place where it's necessary for it to go, where it's not too distracting, you can do it. And then each campus has like a song transition macro. I don't know if Germantown Parkway does, because you have all of your faders right there, so you can quickly do it yourself. But for like Awesome P and Highland, like where you just have mainly a computer in front of you, you can use this song transition. So so if you have all these up, I believe if you hit this, they'll bring it down for you, so that way you don't have to like go one by one bringing each down. So again, you have the freedom to kind of make your own looks and everything. All the colors and everything are built in to these songs. So these colors right here that you see next to each song are accurate. And probably what we'll do, I think we're only doing 2 songs at each prayer service, so you can make a loop to go from song 1 to song 4. And again, if I hit go, it's not going to go right away, but I'll have to hit go back. Well, my command's not working, but let me hit go back to 103. And now, so just make sure you do this before you actually get to Q103, so that way it can skip. So between song transitions, just make sure your lights are coming all the way down so that they can transition. Use a song macro, or just use, you know, the faders themselves to bring them down. And hit go, and now you're in song 4. So I think what we'll do is mainly use song 1 and song 4. Song 2 and 3 are ready to go, just in case we do another song, but for now, let's do song 1 to song 4, and then we'll do post worship. So when we do post worship, it's going to switch back to the first page. So you'll see that this is kind of like the look you know to, or that you see on the weekends. And so from here, what we can do, it's pretty simple from here. So you could go to announcements. You could really stay on post worship if you wanted to, and just use the front watch fader to bring it up and down. And that's probably actually a good idea, is to stay on post worship for really the rest of the service, because someone's going to come up and do an encouragement probably, or a little mini message, and then after that they're going to kind of hand it off to the slides, like the prayer slides, and you can manually bring your front watch down on whichever fader that is. And once the service is over, I don't believe we'll go back into worship. You can go to closing, or you can go to post worship. You can loop this right here and say go to closing or go to post service, and you should be good. So really it's pretty easy. So again, you'll do pre-service, clock, skip over song sequences. So put your loop at 103. It will go straight to song 1, and just make sure your vocal lights come up, or your front wash, and then loop it to 106 after that. But be sure to bring down your faders while you're switching songs, so you don't see gobo changes and color changes and all that. Then you go to 104, and then post worship. And again, let's stay on post worship for the rest of the prayer service, because we like to have the lights, house lights, down pretty low. So just kind of like an intimate setting for prayer. And the front wash you can kind of put on manual to bring up and down when someone comes up to talk about new slides and everything. So that's pretty much it. Again, you'll see all your effects and everything. If I go back to 103, I'm just going to kind of go through it quickly, just so we can make sure it all works correctly. So again, pre-service for the beginning, you'll go to clock. Again, it's a silent countdown, so you're probably not going to see it on the main projectors or screens. Just have someone key you in, or you can see the monitor in front of you when it goes to 20 seconds left. And then once somebody's going to come on stage, like a pastor or someone like a leader, they're going to come on stage to kind of encourage everyone to enter into worship. Go ahead and go to song 1 during that part, and just bring up your front wash, so that way you're ready to go into the song after they get done. And even when the pastor's up there, you can start bringing up some faders, like maybe like some top lights and like some bottom lights like this, just to kind of set the mood while the pastor is talking. And then when he's done, you can start bringing in some more stuff for worship. Again, let's be minimal with effects. Let's not go crazy with them. You can use haze. Maybe just run it once or twice before the service, but I wouldn't run it during worship or anything. And then between songs, make sure you hit song transition, or just bring your faders down. And again, make your loop to 106. We're going to go to song 4. Same thing. Bring up whatever faders you want. Make sure you hit song transition before you go to post worship. And again, the page will change for you. If I open up this, it says fader page 1, which is going to be like your main weekend look. So it should be pretty simple. If you're jumping around a lot and you're like, how do I get back to the manual page without having to hit one of these cues, you can also do that on the console itself. You can hit forward page minus, or forward page plus, or whatever. It's right to the left or that didn't make sense. It's to the left of your faders on your console. So that's it, guys. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks.